Over the last few years, I've gone from this to this, and let me tell you, I love food just as much as you. So how do you eat this and this and this and still look like this? This video is going to show you the 7 hacks I've gathered over the years that allow you to eat what you love, but still get lean. Let's get into it. These 7 hacks that I'm about to share with you will absolutely change the game, and the first of those is what I call the Black American coffee method. Caffeine can suppress your appetite for a period of time. This is why sometimes when you wake up and you have a little coffee, you almost forget that you're hungry until late morning, lunchtime. But why an Americano there? Why not a cappuccino? Why not a latte? Why not a mocha, chocolate, crazy cinnamon freaking frappuccino? Well, first of all, because those things contain huge amount of extra calories. An Americano without sugar, without cream, without none of that BS is probably 5 calories, maybe 10 calories. When you start adding the milk from the cappuccino, the cream, the mocha, the chocolate, it becomes a 200 calorie, 300 calorie, 400 calorie drink, which obviously will add up at the end of the day and more likely push you into a caloric surplus, messing up your diet. Now, there's another downside, which is that these drinks, because they have calories, they awaken the monster. You know those Disney cartoons where, I don't know, a monster is sleeping and you're not supposed to wake the monster, and your stomach is like that. Your food craving hungry stomach is like the monster that is sleeping, because you've just been sleeping, your stomach's been sleeping. The moment you hit it with calories that it can digest, sugar, milk, cream, chocolate, any of those, it starts to wake up and it starts to say, bro, I'm here now. I want to eat. Give me that. Give me more. So you don't want to awaken that beast until around lunchtime. So and the third reason why it works well is, listen, I love an espresso. I lived in Italy for a while. I even lived in France for a while. I know you guys are proud of your coffee and they do taste amazing. Coffee in Naples, I mean, great. We love it. But it's just a short little shot that gives you a spike and then you're still kind of thirsty. Yeah, you're still kind of hungry. It doesn't last as long as an Americano that you can almost drink like water, that quenches your thirst as well and kind of hydrates you. Like, it might not even hydrate you, but it feels like you're getting hydrated because there's more and more fluid going into you. And if you're in Korea and you're having the iced Americano, every Korean's favorite drink, iced Americano might as well be Korean coffee. We might call it Koreano from now on. That's the way you want to use coffee to stay hunger free in the first part of your day especially, and that's going to help you stay in a calorie deficit, which is going to help you stay lean. Next, when people have eggs, what is the first thing that comes to mind? Scrambled or fried. This is the most common way to have eggs, and the reason for this is because it's tasty, it's good, but what does it involve? It involves oil, and you might think, oh, it's just a little bit of oil, but a tablespoon of olive oil already contains like 100 calories, I mean, or more, and it's very hard to measure because sometimes you're trying to pour the olive oil and glug glug glug, and you're like, well, I heard olive oil was healthy, so whatever, and then you just go with it, and then 3 eggs, instead of it becoming 180 to 200 calories, it becomes like a 350 calorie thing, and all those little things just add up. And when I'm trying to get lean, I'm not trying to have that. I'm not trying to, mess up my calories. So what I do is, first of all, the poached egg method. When you poach an egg, which is really easy to do, you just boil some water and poach it, then it's really tasty. It's just a really good way of having just the egg without the oil calories. The same goes for boiled egg method. If you boil water and you boil the egg for like 6 to 8 minutes, depending on how cooked you want the egg. I like it runny, so I might do it for 6.5 minutes, and boom, again, you don't have any oil calories. In Korea, there is a dish called bayakgeran, which means drug egg. It's basically boiled eggs that have been marinated in soy sauce and onion and chili, and oh my god, tastes amazing. Obviously, you guys know of Japanese eggs inside of ramen that have been marinating in soy-based marinades for a long time. So there's just some clever ways to bring flavor that doesn't involve a lot of oil, which has high calories. Now, I'm not saying oil is bad. In fact, fat is very, very important for testosterone, and you want to eat fat. This is just a smart way to keep calories low so that you can get fat in other meals that you want. Now, if you want to build a personalized strategy and actually have me guide you every step of the way to building that aesthetic body, then hit the link below and book a call with me or my team member, and we're going to go through exactly what your goal is, exactly where you're stuck, and how I can help you break through that. There's limited spots. I only take on a few coaching clients per month, so make sure you hit the link below, and if there are slots open, book a call and I'll see you there. Next, so many people will have salads with these dressings full of sugar, and it's just going to make a 500 calorie salad into an 850 calorie salad. Don't be doing that. Don't think, oh, it's just the sauce. I mean, I can't have salad without the sauce. If you want to have low calorie sauces, you need to have an array of them for different kinds of food. I love sriracha I don't know how to pronounce it. It's that red sauce. You can find them with 0 calorie. They add a lot of taste without adding a lot of calories. Now compare that to a mayonnaise. I mean, who loves mayonnaise more than me? I love dunking my fries in mayonnaise. But when you're trying to get lean, whole grain mustard, that has low calories. Even honey mustard, certain versions of it will have actually much less calories than a full-on mayo. Wasabi is a great way. Wasabi soy sauce, great ways to add flavor. Fish sauce in Thai cuisine. You gotta look at some of these Asian sauces, guys. Some of these chili-based, soy sauce-based sauces will help you add a whole bunch of taste without the extra calories. And so, for instance, what I love to do is when I don't know what to do with protein, sometimes I'll take a frozen chicken breast, I'll just do it in the pan, and then I'll have the sriracha sauce with it. I'll have like smoked duck in a salad, and then I'll have it with the honey mustard sauce. And just keeping that idea of like low-calorie sauce method as opposed to, you know, just going all over with the sauce. Next, did you know there are these sprays where you can coat the pan by spraying the oil so the eggs or whatever doesn't stick, but keeping that oil content manageable so that the calories don't go too high. Realize how all of these tricks, essentially what they're doing is they're trying to get flavor without adding too much calorie. Next one, you can get low calorie sauces, that's great, but sauces will always pack some level of calories because usually they contain a little bit of sugar and things like that. So spices and herbs, rarely. I don't think spices and herbs ever have calories, or the caloric content in them is so negligible that it's almost like 0, right? If you put smoked paprika or I don't know, nutmeg or whatever it is, like just sprinkling salt, pepper, paprika, thyme, rosemary, parsley, it's not going to be that much. Herbs, again, an absolute amazing way to add flavor that doesn't absolutely boost up the calories. And this is maybe why, you know, certain Asian cultures and maybe Middle Eastern, African cultures, there's less obese people than in the US and the UK. Maybe it is because the food environment and the way we experience taste and create taste is more spice-based, broth-based, as opposed to sauce-based and butter-based. Next, I know that in Korean food and Chinese food and certain Southeast Asian food, we have a lot of boiled meat, like broth, noodles with meat on the bone in them. In Korea, we have galbitang, which is like beef on the bone, ribs inside a broth that's fairly clear, not like stacked with fat. This is another way. It's almost like boiled eggs. Instead of like frying the meat or really just using minced beef and doing it in the pan with butter, or just basting the steak with like knobs and knobs of butter like they do in France, like that's just all extra calories. But again, if you can boil the meat, it retains a lot of the moisture and it can pack a lot of the flavor. So for example, I don't recommend you do this at home, but in Korea we have a soup called miyeokguk, which is like seaweed soup. It's what we have on birthdays traditionally. And I remember dunking like some chicken breast in there. Normally it's done with beef, just because the chicken breast was a little dry. And it's almost like that boiled meat method where if you add the dry meat to the broth, it gives it the flavor of the broth and softens the meat. So it's another way to add great taste and moisture into an otherwise dry meat without packing on extra calories, because a lot of these Asian soups, especially Korean soups, will be lower in fat because somehow we're scared of fat. We'll be scraping the fat off soups. So it's a great way to add flavor without adding calories. Now, if you look at French onion soup, if you look at some of these Chinese broths, you can see literal layers and layers of fat on top. Japanese ramen broths, huge contents of fat, because fat brings a ton of flavor as well. Now again, I'm not saying fat is bad, but in those kind of broths will have a lot of calories. Next is what I call the mukbang method. I did this a few times early on where I would be eating food as I talk to the camera, like about the diet principles and stuff. You can go see it in my earlier videos if you don't mind hearing me talk with my mouth full. But I'm eating and I'm talking, right? I'm eating and I'm saying, this is what I do, this is what I think, I don't want to eat like a gym bro, blah blah blah. And what I found was that because I'm talking as I'm eating, I am forced to eat slower. I'm forced to chew my food a little bit more, as opposed to just caveman chugging it down, which is what most guys usually do, including myself. So if you eat and you talk like a sophisticated person, okay, with a little napkin, oh darling, how was your meal? And you just really chill out, have a conversation about 1789, then You're gonna get full as you talk because the food, enough time has passed for the signal, the leptin, to reach your brain and tell yourself, you're full, man. You can go use that energy and chill, stop eating. And you'll actually get full. Like, you'll actually reach a stage where you're like, I don't need to eat anymore. That's a good stage to be in if you want to get lean, right? Eat less and be full. Now, you don't have to do it like me where you talk with a full mouth. Don't do that, okay? Keep your table manners. But if you can discuss things, if you can converse about the state of the world as you eat, it will actually help you stay lean. I hope a few of these will help you get lean. If you have some tricks up your sleeve yourself, leave them in the comments. I'd love to know it. And if this video helped you, subscribe because there's a lot of good stuff coming, as there always is. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.